As women, we crave her. The wild, untamed version of ourselves who remembers her power and purpose. You're listening to Soul Speak Live with Jessica Dawn Rodriguez, speaker, Reiki master teacher, and business strategist guiding women ready to elevate their soul's work and create global impact. This is your invitation to unmask, step fully into your power, and co-create a life and business you love, even after adversity. You were born for this, and Jessica is here to walk with you as you claim yourself at the highest capacity. Let's dive in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Soul Speak Live. I'm Jessica Dawn, and I'm so excited to be here today. We have our first guest on the episode. Her name is Dusty, and she is incredible. She is the powerhouse behind Beautiful Outlaws, which is a movement for women who are strong on the outside, storm-tested on the inside, and ready to rise into life as they were always meant to be. So today we are here with a conversation. And we were just talking about how we don't have anything planned. We are here. We are ready to just share from our hearts. And this is really the vision of Soul Speak Live. So I'm so excited. Dusty, if you want to just pop in and give a little bit of an intro about yourself, and we can just start chatting.
Awesome. Jessica, thank you so much for inviting me here. Like, what an amazing soul speaks just in its own, right? Take away the live for a second. Just saying soul speaks. Like, how powerful is that for all of us? We live in a world where we're not letting our soul speak. We're doing all these things that the world thinks we need to do, that society says we do. So just sitting here and being a part of Soul Speaks is empowering, authentic, it's real. And then we're doing it live and we have no plans. So that's even more real and more soul oriented. So thank you for inviting me to be your guest today. I'm so honored by that.
You're welcome.
So who am I? Like, in short, I have walked through the fire when I didn't even realize it was fire. When I just thought that was life. I thought life was chaotic. I didn't make the right choices in life. So I'm that person that I just kept moving forward because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Okay, you guys can see I live in this really big lodge and it looks very Western. That's because I'm very much that person. I was born and raised rural and cowgirl, ranching, all the things. So that grit, that tenacity, like, it's born into me. That's what I do. That's who I am. So I didn't think anything of it. For any of our listeners who've been around horses or know anything or heard anything on Westerns, you get bucked off, you get back on, right? That's the way I lived my life. I just thought that's how it was supposed to be. So when life was rough, when life was rocky, and I was playing small, or I didn't like chase these dreams, it's because I thought I was a blue collar person and this is what I was supposed to do. Life hits, you get back on, right? Well, after I am 36. I had to think for a second. I just turned 36. So after about 30 years, I realized that that is not how life was supposed to be and that I didn't have to conform and confine. Before I turned 30, I played so small. I didn't think I deserved happiness. I didn't think I was capable of happiness. I didn't think I could chase my dreams. I never expected to be a single mom, let alone with 2 kids. I never even expected to be a mom. But then, fun fact, I gave birth to my son in the shower. Like, that's a little wild. If you've ever seen that show, I didn't know I was pregnant. I was like, that has to be made up. There's no way you don't know you're pregnant, but that was me. But that's because I didn't listen to my soul. Like, my body, literally, I'd been living in existence for so long, just trying to keep myself alive, that when when I got pregnant, my body knew it had to hide my little boy to keep him alive, that he had to hide him to keep us going. And I feel like it's the biggest blessing. I would not be here today if it wasn't for that surprise visit in the shower 8 years ago yesterday. And that kind of altered my life from being in abuse, from being in all that unsettling to I've got to figure things out. But I didn't figure things out right away, right? Like, so I'm in my late 20s. I'm a mom, life's chaotic. And then I get thrown another curveball when I have another little boy, and he's my little warrior. And he was born 3 months premature and passed away a day before his due date. Again, I'm a single mom. Like, I didn't plan any of this, right? Like, and fast forward, he didn't make it. He ended up getting his wings, but when he got his wings, he gave me mine. That's a bold, wild thing to say, but I had to learn to grieve him. Then I had to learn to grieve myself and the life that I thought I was supposed to have. And so now I take this being a single mom, this having to learn to grieve, all these chaotic things. And now I get the opportunity to sit here in this beautiful lodge. I look outside and it's raining and it's just beautiful and it's fall everywhere and it's green, right? Like, there's literally new grass growing in the fall when it's cold at night, when it's frosty. And I get the opportunity to sit here with you. And now I get to help others move through. And I feel really just like I just have this like whole just peace come across me. That chaotic, that chaos, the little bits, I just shared the tiny bits of it. Now I get the opportunity to sit here and I get to speak with you and I get to help women ascend, to become, to be, that they get to take what they went through and the crazy stories and the stories they don't tell anybody, the shame, the guilt, the grief. And I get to help them use that as fuel, as fire, as a belief of knowing, like, if I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. I deserve this because I went through this over here. I get to have this. But from here to here is such a, our mentor sent us a telegram just a little bit ago talking about bridge. I have goosebumps right now. I get to be the bridge from where you are here to where you're going here. And that's what I do. I help you ascend. And until you can spread your own wings and until you can be your own bridge, I get to be that bridge. That is like the shortest, funnest version of who I am and what I do. And then I just spice it all up and I get to make grief sexy. And then I add a lot of equine therapy and everything I do. So that just kind of sets me apart in its own. And that's like my fun. The horses are my fun part, right? Like, that's the fun part. But that is me in a nutshell. Like, I'm a bridge. I'm a person who walked through fire that I didn't even know was fire, had the most crazy things happen to me. And I just rose because I thought that's what you were supposed to do, because I got bucked off so many times growing up that I thought that's what you do. And now I realize that you don't have to get bucked off so many times, that you don't have to just keep getting up and doing the same thing over and over again, that you get to have more. And that's what I get to do. And that's who I am in a nutshell.
I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that, Dusty. And
Yeah.
I feel like one of the things that really hit me at Beyond was like just the power that you carry when you step in the room and you're sharing your story and you're talking about Cutter, and you're like, you had said something on one of our mastermind calls that just really stuck out as well. And it's like, I'm not sorry. It's like, as you're getting out there and you're sharing your truth and you're speaking this beautiful message and you're working with other women to help them, you know, move from where they're at to where they desire to be. It's like, you're not sorry that any of it happened. And I just feel like that's such a beautiful like energy to hold, because a lot of times when people have experienced massive trauma or adversity or loss, it's like it is easy to kind of get trapped in the past and like I wish that didn't happen to me. And when you can move forward in a way where it's like, I'm not sorry it happened. Like it it all happened as it was supposed to. And yes, it was painful. And yes, there are always going to be days of my life moving forward where I'm going to feel that loss. Like I can heal, I can show up and I can be this powerhouse, and like there will always be, it will always be. And yet I'm not sorry that any of it happened.
I appreciate so much that you brought that up because that has been such a topic lately, as we talked about in multiple calls and our personal phone calls together. And I've talked with other people. Just, I hear a lot. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I've had to reframe it so many times that I'm grateful it happens. And what a wild thing to say. What a wild thing to say that I'm grateful my son passed away, that he gave me his wings when he got his wings. But I know in my heart of hearts that he was never supposed to walk this earth, that he came for a reason, that I, in the right settings, depending on the audience and different things, I know that it's easier to share that the hardest day of my life with him had to have been in the PICU. And I just feel like this, I can see it all now. And I was going home to visit Roper. I hadn't seen Roper in a couple weeks, and he was doing fine. I had great nurses. Like everything was going well, right? Like we know we're doing life and death. Like so well for us looked way different than well for other people, right? Like he's hooked up to a dialysis machine. There's just different things going down. We're trying to get fluid off this, what was a 5 pound, 5 ounce baby boy who passed away at 15 pounds in 24 days. As we're trying to get this fluid off, as we're trying to help heal his body, as we're trying to go through all this stuff, I felt like he was safe. I felt like, okay, I can go see Roper for a day. I can get away from everything, catch my breath for just a day, right? Like just a day. So I go to my friend's house that lived in the city, and I was going to catch a train in the morning. And I get there and I'd set my phone down. And for some reason, I was going to go take a shower, but I just like sat there on the bed and I was like, just needed to breathe, right? I think ended up doom scrolling as well, but like I was sitting there and I was just numbing, but like I'm in the room by myself, it's quiet. And I get a phone call and it's a hospital. And the nurse, you can kind of tell in her voice that there's a little bit of a panic. And she calmly, as calmly as she can, says, "Is this Cutter's mom? I need you to come back to the hospital as soon as you can." So I go out and I get my friend and we rush to the hospital. And PICU's like in a horseshoe. Come through the double doors, and his room's at the very back. So as I come through the double doors, I look across to his room, and his room is full of X-ray technicians, doctors, nurses, respiratory, everybody that is anybody in that hospital that's up there, technicians and all are in his room. And I just know, like, worst case, like, this is it. Like, this is it. He's gone. Like, I didn't even get to say goodbye. And I get to the back of the room, and the doctor sets me down in a chair. She doesn't let me go in the room. And they sit me outside and they talk to me. And they say that he has a pneumothorax. I did not say that right, but basically there's air outside of his lungs and they need to put a tube in him. Unfortunately, he has so many fluids in him that they can't get, like, she can't fully see, like, fill. So they're doing x-rays, and the head doctor's on his way in to do it. But if he crashes or goes to crash, she's going to do it. And she tells me that if she has to do it and something happens and she hits a rib, like, it'll literally kill him, right? Like, because they're trying to get, like, imagine a preemie little baby. Like, it's not even his due date yet. He's still not to his due date. And so just think of that, like, and they had to get through the tiny little ribs to get a hose in, like, for the air. And everyone's panicked and everything's like that. And I just remember, like, when they went to show me the x-ray, I'm sitting there looking at everything, and there was a light right here. The light, his bed's over here on this side, and he's hooked up to machines, he's everything. And there was a light right here, and it was not the light in the hospital. It was not like a normal light. Like it was just this calm light, and my whole body just went super calm. Like I knew in my heart of hearts, like he's not over here in the pain. Like he's not feeling it. He's not in the pain. He's here. His spirit's here. And this calm came over me. And I just thanked everybody in the room and like wanted everybody to know that I'm so grateful for all of them. And it was such a surreal moment. But in that, I knew that this little boy's mission was so much more. And as I was healing and as I was growing and as I've gotten through all of this, that is probably the issue. I've had to unpack that scenario in my life so many times and relive that and in meditation and so many different things, therapy, coaching. Like I've unpacked that life moment in my life multiple ways, multiple times. And what I realized was that moment in my life that I knew that this was all going to be a part of my journey, that this all was a purpose, and that I had this just calm come apart about me. And I knew that there was something in all of this that was going to take me to where I needed to go. That's when I started to make the promise to him that I would get my wings and I would finally spread my wings. And that was those promise that I would swing for the fences like he did. I would go through all this, and it's bold. It's crazy. And nobody wants to hear that because we're not taught as a society that things in our life sometimes happen to help redirect us.
Yeah.
There is no way possible in my life, way I was living my life, the way that life was going, that if this did not happen, I would be where I am today. I can't make up a scenario. I can't convince myself. I can't have a conversation that if none of this would have happened with Cutter, I would be where I am today. My life was pure chaos, and it took something so life altering, so chaotic, so heartbreaking. And I had to do it alone in so many ways. Like I had friends that came in and family that could come in here and there, but I went through a lot of really hard things alone. I had a lot of life and death conversations alone. I was fighting text messages with the boys' dad back and forth, like some of the things that are just heartbreaking in their own, right? Like, so when somebody says, I'm so sorry, I just have to be like, I'm grateful because I'm here. I get to help others because of this. I would never have learned to grieve at all if it wasn't for this, right? Like, I don't come from a family where you grieve.
Right.
I come from a family and a way of life that it happens. It's part of life. They're in a better place. Like, yeah, we're sad, but like you move on. That's the way that I was taught, the way that I was, believed. I grew up around animals. Like our animals are our world, but it's a circle of life as well, right? But I learned with my son that grief is not a one size fits all. It's not all of this. And what a blessing that I get to be his mom. I get to carry on his legacy. And I've never shared that story ever, because it is pretty wild. But we have to give ourselves permission that it's okay not to be sorry. It's okay to look yourself in the mirror and say, even when we make wrong choices, even when we go down these paths that we don't think we should have went down, that our morals and our values, we threw them out the door and we went down this path, right? Like we knew we weren't supposed to go down this way. It's okay to look yourself in the mirror and say, you didn't know what you didn't know. You were just surviving. You threw your morals and values out the window for XYZ situation to feel like you belonged because you didn't think you were worthy. Whatever that story might be for you in that time, it's okay to sit there and say, I'm not sorry that I made these choices. I learned, I grew, and I found a new way back to me. And how powerful is that? How grateful is that?
Yeah. When you were sharing the story about the light in the room, I was thinking, and you mentioned it afterward, I was thinking what just dropped in was like, oh my gosh, like his light became your legacy. Kiddo coming in.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be here. He just randomly showed up way early. Can you go outside?
Brooklyn came up here earlier too. I'm like waving for her to go down the stairs.
There's the 8-year-old right there.
Oh my gosh, I love
So
it.
sorry.
Don't
Real
apologize.
life. This is the not planned. This is
Yeah.
where we are.
But no, I thought that, I mean, yeah, I mean, that just dropped in right when you had said that. Like his light literally did become your legacy. And I feel like in the online space and the work that we're doing, I mean, we both serve, different women and, do different types of work. And there's this theme that I've seen, and I don't believe that women who are dedicated to helping, serving, healing, coaching, mentoring, like we don't just wake up one day like, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. It really is the storm. It's like what we've navigated truly does end up becoming that force behind our work. And what I've noticed that I've witnessed in the online space as well is something that I guess that I don't always resonate with is, we talk about growing in business and we have all of these like, courses and teachers on manifestation and doing all these things in business. And yet there's all of these women who are mission led because of that turning point in their life, because of that drop to their knees moment where it's like, this this is not it, and I'm moving forward and I'm doing all these things, and now I have this big dream to like serve other women who fit within that category, who have walked through the fire, who have been dropped to their knees more than once. It's like when we think about manifesting our dream life and our business or any of that, there's just something different. Like healing and manifesting, after adversity requires like a different level of self-leadership. And I wanted to create a space here where it's like women who have overcome things that many people may not even be able to survive have a place to come and have these conversations where it's like, yes, I did navigate this. Yes, this is part of my experience. Yes, this is now part of my mission. And like, this is just the beginning. And now we get to be those women who are collapsing time, who are really like truly being that bridge like you talked about. What a gift.
It is. It's such a gift. And I think we're not always taught that. And I love that you brought up, like, yeah, there's so many different ways of coaching, and there's so many different things we hear and we navigate. And we're kind of in this realm where we have women who found their way through, but sometimes I think we do it quietly. This is a message for myself too, as well. We do it quietly, right? Like we've made it through these things and we aren't seen, we're not heard because what a stigma that's been out there for so many years, right? Like, and we get through it and we're over here and we're thriving. And there's so many women out there who are thriving, who are doing good, who are making differences, who are living the lives that these other women want, right? Who are still in the storms, who are still from whatever that life may look like for them, right? Like, but we all were there before. We've all been there. So many successful women. Like the thing that's coming up to like comparison is that I did not know. I had no clue, no idea how many successful women have been through some level of abuse. Like,
Yeah.
no idea, right? So, like, when I was going through it, I thought, like, I'm a bad person. I deserve this. Like, I need it. Like, I have to stay. Like, this is the best I'm ever going to get, right? Like, all these false narratives that I told myself because that's what I was told, right? Like, so what an opportunity and what a great just place that you're creating, a space, safe space that you're creating while empowering at the same time, that you're allowing people to come in and see, hey, guess what? Turns out there's a lot of mess from here to here, but we're just really good at keeping it hidden because we're women. That's what we were taught to do. And so we do that. But at the same time, like, how unfair is that for these women that are over here? Like, I think about myself even 8 years ago. Like, I I needed to know that it was messy from here to here.
Mhm.
I needed to know that it was okay to be messy, right? Like, there's no shame around it. You're figuring out who you are. You lost who you were for so long, for whatever reason that might be. The thing that I tell everybody, I think I said this at Boise, and I say this a lot on different things, is that the cure of cancer is probably hidden behind with, like, remember emo kids? Like, years ago, I'm dating myself, but like some emo kid probably has a cure of cancer hidden in a shoebox in their parents' basement because someone told them that they couldn't be an emo kid and cure cancer, right? Like, because we live in this world where you can't be multiple things. You can't, have an identity of one thing and do another thing. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But that's false advertisement. And I know that we're like changing in ways, but those are still built in generational beliefs. So just because on top of like going through these hard things, like there's these wired beliefs in us, right? Like, and so it is time that we have these open conversations, these real conversations, to be like, nope, it's okay. We are messy. Like, obviously my son showed up way earlier than he was supposed to be back, and we're navigating everything, right? But that's life, right? Like, that's the life. That is part of it. Not everything's going to go as perfect as we want it to be, but social media is really good at making it look perfect.
Yeah.
Social media is really good at like making a dream look like it's great. These women who are successful, these coaches who are successful, we've all been through different things that woke us up and was like, nope, I'm done. And that might look different for everybody. But how great is that? Because now you get to find that coach that resonates with what you've been through, right? Like, it gets to help you because they've walked your path. Your messy, my messy, other people's messies all might look different. Perfect. That's what makes the world go round. Because if we were the same, we would be Barbie dolls, right? Like, if we were meant to be the same, we would be Barbies. We're not meant to be the same, but we can find people that we have things in common with. And we can find stories that we have in common with. And we can realize that, hey, it's okay. It's okay not to have it all figured out. It's okay to be messy.
Yeah.
And I think that's just an amazing opportunity to be permission slips. And so I love that you're creating this space and we're having these conversations, and we're having conversations that I haven't had before, which I love that even more.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like the way that we are headed as a society, there's such a push, with AI and I mean, you're questioning what's even real, right? When you're scrolling and you see videos and you see pictures and you're like, I don't know. I mean, even news reports, I'm like, is that AI? Is like, should I click on the link or not? Or like, there's just so
If I
much that
click on the link, will I even know if it's real? Like, will I still even know if it's real or not real? And
true, right? Yeah, there's just so
there's a
much.
lot going on.
And I've known, and I don't know if it's from, I was an educator for years and years in early childhood, and it's just ingrained in me to value relationships, conversation, connection. And I've just seen this space for so long where we sit and we just open up. And it's not always, it's not just sitting here sharing the, ways to make $1 million. Like, we're talking about like what it takes to actually be the woman after navigating things that, many people can't even fathom.
So true. That's so true. And I think, like, just to take it back even a touch, like, I see these videos currently circulating. There's a lot of videos circulating right now of like little kids with and there's like a horse and a cow and like, or a bull's like gonna attack this kid, and then this horse jumps in and saves its life, or like these people riding horses while carrying a baby and the horse bucks. Like it's very, very not real, but it's circulating like it's real. And people are getting so behind it, and they're like sitting in there and they're chatting all this up, and they're like just tearing people apart, and it's brutal, right? Like there's no connection. Like we got these screens behind it, and I see these comments, and they're just talking about how bad of parents people are and how bad this and that, right? Like we've lost connection.
Yeah.
We've lost authenticity. We've lost what's real. My son that's here, love him to death. He does not like, he does. He's a very good judge of character. So like, but if you're a good character and he's not like exhausted or hangry, he does get hangry a lot. But like if he's in the moment, he'll come up and I'll talk to you. Like he's an old soul in a little kid's body. And so he likes connection, but people look at him like he's crazy. And he'll have like adult conversations with you. And by adult conversations, I just mean articulates things and like has questions and like in depth. And he's very well spoken. And in today's society, they look at him like he's just like, what are you? And kids are like, even a little bit older kids are like, why are you speaking out? Like, why are you speaking to us? Kind of thing, you know? Like there's all these little things. And uh, how powerful we live in this world where reality is gone. Some of my best friends are on the other side of screens. But now I'm blessed that I get to meet them in person. Like I went to Boise, went to Vegas, like I get to still see them, but I have more real connections with people on the other side of screens, right? Like, so it's real.
Yeah.
But how do we bridge the gaps to connection in bigger groups? Real connection, real authenticity. How do we teach it's okay to be authentic? It's okay to be seen for who you are. It's not all about having the best of certain things. It's not all about certain achievements. It's about who you are as a person, right? Like it's about who you are, who you want to become. And so how do we help bridge that gap in today's society where we can go online so fast and I go take a picture of myself and then I can go throw in an AI thing and it will not even look at me, like look like me, or who needs a photographer when you can just flip a headshot in, right? Like, so how are we going to bridge that gap? And what an opportunity that we get to bridge that gap.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the ways that I have done that, or at least given myself permission, is within my Facebook group. I'm like, it feels so good to just show up. I'll get on a video when I'm in my sauna, when I'm in the hot tub, when I'm out going for a walk. And I've noticed that since I've given myself permission to just kind of show up and be who I am and to really share from my heart and to do things that I felt called to do, like this, where it's like there wasn't a plan. I mean, even when I first thought about doing Speak Live, when it first dropped in, it's like, I don't know what the plan is. I still don't know what the big picture is with this YouTube channel. And yet I just feel like we are meant to be having conversations like this. And there's so much value that can happen when we're just in the moment. We're having these conversations and, maybe there's just one woman that connects with it and is like, yes, I resonate with that. And maybe or maybe it inspires like millions. And either way, I'm okay with it. But I do think it starts with just being that example and giving ourselves opportunity to show up when we feel the call.
I love that. And it's so powerful. That's what the world needs. Like they need that realness and that honesty of like, hey, I'm showing up in the raw, in the hot tub, in the sauna. And I think for me, I love when someone just like pops in. Like this morning when you popped in and you were in the sauna, I was like, just love that so much. Like I love that you're doing something for you, but you're pouring into others. Like I love that. And I resonate with that. And I'm like, I just enjoy that. And it means so much more. And I think that's what the world needs right now. I'm guilty of using AI especially for my uh like content and stuff, right? Like I use it to help me or to help flush things out or to
Mhm.
work through things. And we all do, right? Like we're all using it in different ways. But there's still that balance of connection and reality and finding that because it's here. It's going to be here for the rest of our lives, right? But how it's that importance of connection, the importance of being real, of being the lantern for somebody else. We don't have to be a lighthouse, right? Like we don't have to be that. We can just be a lantern. We can just be helping you see a few feet ahead of you. And that's beautiful in its own, right? Like just being that little bit to help somebody a few feet ahead of you. And that's so awesome and amazing.
Yeah. One of my favorite mentors had told me something a while back that stuck with me, and I feel the same way now with my clients. She's like, I'm no different than you, Jess. She's like, I just went first. Like, you have everything you need inside of you right now. There's just somebody that's going first.
And isn't that awesome? Like, I've sat here and I've gone to these events lately, and none of the events that I've gone to, it's like I've put, not that I put the coaches on pedestals, I'm just like, man, you're a long ways ahead of me. You're like way out there. I look up to you, like successful women who I surround myself, I have a lot of really successful women around my life who have uh like rebuilt their lives completely and they've been divorced, single moms, and then remarried and like life's good, right? Like that's kind of the persona I've had, but I'm like, man, you guys are like way out there in front of me. Like, oh man, right? But then we take a step back and we see real life and we see that, hey, they're just a few steps ahead of us. They're not any different than we are. And I think that's probably actually why I resonate so much with certain women in my life and certain coaches in my life, and why I think it is so important that we do our homework. I was just talking to a friend the other day, right? Like, and we were discussing her coaches and mine, like nothing bad or like pros or cons, like nothing like that. Just more of like how we were getting certain things from them, how our perspective on coaches over the years, like as far as like what we need has changed, right? And I know for me, I need to be surrounded by women who have lived the life that I've lived and are living the life that I've wanted or wanting. Like, yes, I'm speaking at all these events. Like, it's so awesome that I get to go be a coach and a speaker, and that I'm speaking at the Raider Stadium at Allegiant.
That's so
Like, our
awesome.
events being hosted there, right? Like, so I'm speaking through an organization that's being hosted at Allegiant Stadium, right? Like, that's so powerful and so just amazing, right? But there's still women doing more in certain areas, and I surround myself with that because that's where I want to go, right? Or
Mhm.
somebody else. Maybe you're in a different area and you need somebody in your realm who is more about helping you heal through whatever you're needing to heal through, right? Like whatever that thick is, whatever that yuck is. Maybe you need more masculine energy in your life. Maybe you need more feminine energy. Maybe you need to really dive deep in the hurt, or maybe you need to be your boat needs to be completely rocked and you need an identity shift and ascend across, right?
Yeah.
We're all at different places. We're all doing different things. And how amazing is it that we have coaches going before us that are figuring things out and they're experts in their areas. So go find somebody who's an expert in the area that you need.
Yeah.
It doesn't make anybody, and here's the thing too, like it does not make anybody any better or any worse than anyone else.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You had talked before about like just realizing there's no competition. There's so many women out there who are just waiting for that perfect mentor to come into their life. Like
The
there's
one that resonates with their soul.
yeah.
And I think what an amazing, just like that alone, let's just take that and take a pause back for a second. How great is that though, to say that there is no competition, that we're not here for competition, that there's plenty and there's enough for us when so long women were wired for competition, right? Like, and to be threatened by other women, to be catty, to be the mean girls of no longer high school, of real life, right? Like those are real life things. But we get to pave a new way for being. I have been in amazing rooms with amazing women lately. And all of these rooms I've been in, guess what? They've all had one thing in common. There's no competition, and everybody is so different from each other. And everybody was so kind and awesome with each other. Like, I have to share this. When I say this, the first thing that comes up was at the last event I was at in Vegas. I spoke on stage. Everything, like, it was kind of went different, and I had to go from like a 10-minute speech to a 7-minute speech. And so it was like, and all the women before me, I'm like second to last, right? So they've all said the same thing I planned to say. Like, just spice the different story. Like, we heard the same, and not the same thing every day, all day, but like very similar things. Like, it's all about authenticity, becoming who you're meant to be, going through things, right? Like, we all do it. It just looks different, right? And so I'm like second to last after all these amazing powerhouse women. And I'm like, I got to do something different. I got to rock this up. And my day's already been hectic. Uh, my car like broke down a couple days before. Like, life's not looking great. Like, up to this, it's great, but there's chaos. Like, there's huge up leveling going on and huge chaos at the same time. Like, it's a lot, right? So here I'm in the morning of, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my bangs won't do what they're supposed to do at all. Like, nothing's going right. Like, I'm in my head because I'm like nervous. Let's be real. I was nervous and like, oh my gosh, we're up leveling. So, one of my friends that live in Vegas was giving me a ride, to drop stuff off at my car and then over to across the road from the Legion Stadium is where we were at. And I looked at her and I was like, yeah, my cowboy hat's in the uh car, but I don't know if I want to wear it. And she looked at me and she goes, um, that's why we all love you. Like, we all love you because that's like who you are. Why are you going to this event not being who you're meant to be? Mind you, I had a business suit that day and it wasn't working out, right? Like, nothing. I was like, I'm not wearing that today. Like, it's so nice. Like, it looks so good on me. Like, it's amazing, right? Like, nothing wrong with it. I just was in this weird headspace. So I go into this women's event, right, in Vegas, decked head to toe in business casual Western, boots, jeans, a denim blazer, and a cowboy hat, right? Like, that's my identity. Like, I'm comfortable in that. Like, that for me is freeing, right? So I'm in there and I'm speaking, doing all this. And in society's world, I'm sharing this because of like, in society's world, there's a competition. We got identities, we got this, we got that. And if you look a certain way, you got to act a certain way and you can't be friends with certain people, right? Like, society's crazy. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Like, society needs to take a chill because not reality. But do you know that not long after that speech was over in the day, like, we had one other lady after me and then it all closed and we are all getting ready to go, that the purple haired lady, love her to death. And like, as I said something about being authentic, my eyes went like straight to her. It was so just magical. She comes up to me and she thanks me for being authentic. And I was like, I fell in love with your hair, like across the room, like on stage, right? But society tells me, like, if I was to listen to society, we were to like look at things as on paper, right? Like, on paper would say that we shouldn't be cheering for each other, right? Like, I'm looking like a hardcore cowgirl over here and like all these things, and she's purple haired. But in these spaces that are being created in these new mindsets, no one is really caring about what society says.
Yeah.
And they're just being, and they're just loving each other, and they're just supporting each other, and they're seeing each other for who they are, what they are, and they're cheering so loud for the other person. How amazing is it that the world's changing?
Yeah.
That will forever be a core memory of mine, because obviously that doesn't align with my beliefs, that purple hair cowgirl thing, but like, in two different worlds, but like, that is such a societal thing in how on paper, right? Like, but here we are in the same room and we're cheering for each other. Like, how beautiful is that? And everyone's calling each other and everyone's so excited. And so we're just opening the doors, we're opening the floodgates, because we're not just opening the gates a little bit. We're not just like, oh, cuckoo clock, hi. We are opening the floodgates for change, for connection, for authenticity. You can be who you are meant to be and support others who are meant to be whatever that may look like for them. And how beautiful is that? Because the world is changing.
Yeah,
It is changing. And I cheerlead so hard for other people.
I know.
And I love that because fun fact is, I did not have like girlfriends growing up. Like, didn't trust them, didn't want them. I stayed to myself. Like, I had some experiences as a kid where they were catty. They were like different little things happened. And then as like I had like four friends, but then like things happened too, right? And then I got older and I really didn't. And then I got accused of so much because instead of like barrel racing in rodeo, I was a roper. So I hung out with the guys. Like I helped warm up horses. I did all that. But I was just doing what I loved to do. Like literally that's all I was doing. Like I could have cared less. Like they were like older brothers to me. Like that's it, right? But people would say things. So I was like, nope, like safe thing over
Mhm.
now. I don't know how many guy friends I have. It's very low compared to women friends and people that I talk to and cheerlead for. And it's so awesome to change. It's so inviting. So I just thank you for like having this place and
For
helping
sure. I think
highlight all
it's
that.
just such a blessing to get to a point in your life where you realize like, oh, I get to choose who I surround myself with. I get to choose the level of support that I'm going to receive in my life and my business. I get to choose to be a part of a mastermind group or to work with certain people and to surround myself with women who truly see me, support me, and like they want me to win. And we're winning together and we're elevating each other and we're just doing all these great things. And yeah, at, some point in our lives, we probably didn't have that at all. And, now we're here and this is just the beginning. So
It really
thank you
is. And that's
so
so
much.
beautiful. I love that you said that too. I think the other thing that it's so important for all listeners to think about is that when you're fixing to invest in your coach, in a coach, and in these masterminds, like even take a step further back that when you get into some of these group coachings, like it's not just that you're investing in up leveling yourself or you're investing in, the certain area of coaching that you're needing, that your life that you're really just wanting to focus on. You're putting yourself in rooms with people who are doing the same thing, that are going through the same hard, who you can bounce ideas off, or you can end up on a call like this. You could end up doing all these amazing things with because they're doing the same thing as you. And maybe the people that are around us and around you in your life, like maybe they're not really there yet. That's not what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you get to invest in yourself in what you need and put yourself in rooms where you do belong and you do feel. And then you're going to inspire the people around you because then they'll be calling you for business advice or friend advice or like you'll go from being a hippie to like being an authority in their life. And it's okay. It's part of it and it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dusty. I am going to go ahead and stop our recording, but this was so wonderful. And thank you so much for being the first guest on Soul Speak Live. And I'm sure we'll probably get on here and have another conversation at some point. But thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing in so many ways. And I'm so grateful for you. And the fact that I just get to be the first guest is amazing, but I can't wait to see the powerhouses that you have on here and the conversations you have. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for opening this container for so many viewers that come and watch and feel and literally let their soul speak. So you're doing amazing work.
Thank you.